mas mahal ang local travel. At ang may kasalanan dyan are not the local stakeholders, but it is an infrastructure issue. Walang iba. Bakit mahal ang Siargao, mahal ang Boracay, maiksi ang mga runway nila. So ang eroplano lang na pwede ay propeller. So ang pamasahe nagiging 40% more expensive. So pipilitin natin parusahan ng mamamayan dahil mahal ang local travel, hindi namin kayo papayagan mag-travel internationally kahit mas mura ito. Parang hindi naman yata tama yon. Meaning, why are we going to penalize people's right to travel because of the inefficiency of government? While no doubt all these bills play a crucial role in nation building, I would like to note that up for deliberation as well is of course our travel tax abolition. Marahil ay kinakalampag na ng mga constituents ang kanilang mga congressman dito na ipasa ng panukalang ito. Since Majority Leader, no less than Congressman Sandro Marcos, filed House Bill 7443, it has become one of the most anticipated pieces of legislation. I don't want to preempt the discussion, but as Chairman of the Committee on Ways and Means, I believe it is high time that we revisit this 43-year-old tax. Noon, ang mayayaman lang ang nakakapag-ibang bansa. Nang isinibatas ito noong 1978. Wala pa sa 1 milyon ang nakakasakay sa eroplano at nakakabisita sa ibang bansa. Pawang mga ultra-rich lang ang kayang lumipad noon. Kaya't ito'y isinasabatas bilang progressive tax sa mayayaman noong panahon na yon. Ngayon, sa loob ng isang taon, higit sa 7 milyong Pilipino ang nakakapag-travel abroad. Hindi na ito limitado sa mga mayayaman. Travel is now for everyone, especially for the youth. Pagdating ng summer, panayang OOTD Japan, OOTD Vietnam, na laman ng Facebook at IG stories ng mga kaedad ni Senior Vice Chair Ernix Junicio. Dagdag pa tayo na lang among the ASEAN countries ang may travel tax. Kaya mahalaga na pag-isipan natin ng mabuti kung relevant at necessary pa ba ito. Kung ito'y tatanggalin, ano ba ang magiging epekto sa ating ekonomiya? Makakasama o makakabuti ba? Ano ang ipinapakita ng datos? At panghuli, ano ang benepisyo ng pagbiyahe ng ating mga kababayan sa ating lipunan bilang isang accountability tool? Hindi ba't pag nakikita ng mga Pilipino ang kalinisan, kaayusan, kawalan ng traffic sa ibang bansa, pag bumabalik sila dito ay nagiging mas mapaningil sila sa ating pamahalaan? Because they're able to see how government actually should work. So I really look at travel also as an accountability measure or tool. May we recognize the Honorable Representative Edgar Erice. Egay, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Hindi ko makita kung ano yung purpose ng abolition ng travel tax. Kasi po, in the perspective of the Department of Tourism, may mako-contribute po ba ito sa tourism industry ng Pilipinas, yung abolition ng travel tax? Kasi po ito palabas din ng bansa. So, ang kikita po dito, yung ibang bansa. Yung mga tourist na Pilipino, papunta sa ibang bansa. So, ang kikita dito, yung mga pupuntahan ng ating mga kapwa Pilipino. At yung pong travel tax na sana ay pupunta para sa development ng tourism industry dito sa Pilipinas, mawawala. Like yung mga proyekto ng TIESA. So ano po, how could the abolition of travel tax, which the Department of Tourism is supporting, can help the tourism industry on this matter?
Before the stakeholders answer, no, just for the record, it's already presented also in the bill of Majority Leader Sandro Marcos, and we have seen also the studies that insofar as any reduction in international travel is concerned, it brings about an increase in demand. So they've measured that there is in terms of elasticity, it has a minus 1.5 elasticity, meaning for every 10 plane tickets that are reduced by at least 20%, you will have 3 additional new travelers. So when you look at each 3 new travelers brought about by the removal of the travel tax, it also brings about the generation of new tickets. It brings about expenditures for clothes that they will use when they leave, for fuel that will be now bought by the airline companies because they have now 30% markup increase in terms of demand. So the overall generated, while we actually lose a little over or less than 6 billion in total tax revenue, the amount of money generated in the economy is actually more than 25 billion pesos. That's where the proposal is coming from. It is not meant to defund these important programs. That has to be made clear. So, wag ho natin pagdebatihan yung programa ay maaalis o masisira dahil hindi tayo papayag. Kasi kung yun po ang gagawin, di sana ginawa na lang at sinabing yun na. Di ba? Move for the abolition of the agency, reduction of the mandates. Hindi naman ganun eh. Ang sinasabi lang natin dito is that there is an overall benefit when we actually remove it because more people are going to travel. So, dun pa lang itself is malaking nagiging benepisyo ng ating bansa pagdating dyan. That's why it's being pushed. It is not in any way meant to eliminate or reduce the mandates of the respective agencies. Pwede bang sige yung katanungan? Sige, go ahead, Kongay Guy, please.
May we elicit the response of the CHED? Have you been consulted?
Can somebody fix the microphone, please?
Yes, before I answer this, I believe that the president is data-driven. And as explained by the chairperson, that
So you've been consulted?
we were asked in a collegial manner. Medyo nagtatampo nga na, sige, okay lang yan kasi ako mismo nagtra-travel. It's a burden for me to pay 1,620.
Have you not asked kung saan po ang pagkukunan ng kapalit na 40%?
Yeah, as of this date po, we were just assured that it should be replaced.
You were assured, pero saan po kukunin? Definitely. Meron, for example, if this will be implemented in June, yung ano po, yung nandito may representative po ba dito ang DBM? Department of Budget and Management.
There's no representative, Kongay Guy.
Kung sakasakali po madidefund yung mga agencies na to because of the TIESA, saan kukunin ng gobyerno for June? For example, yung pasweldo, yung mga yung ongoing projects nila, saan makukuha? Do you have any idea on where to get it? May we ask the agencies concerned, the TIESA and the CHED?
Yeah, again, I reiterate, Honorable Congressman, that the President is data-driven. We were asked to submit our savings on the HEDF.
So
And
for this year,
for this year,
walang problema.
for CHED, we have enough savings for now, but for the lined up activities with the Department of Tourism, we are afraid that we have to stop it if there is no source.
So may stop po yung isang programa. Ngayon po, budget process. Nag-submit na po kayo na sa ating, ito pong pondo na ito, kung wala na, hindi na ito maisasama hindi na itong magiging source of fund. Kasama po ba yan sinabmit ninyo sa DBM? Dahil alam ko po, nagkaroon na po ng deadline ng submission ng mga departments.
Let me just interject, Congressman
Yes.
Egay. What we are discussing is really the merits of the abolition of travel tax. This matter will also go to the Committee on Appropriation. There's a very, very specific provision on the bill itself in Section 4, where it completely and unequivocally states that to ensure the continuity of programs and projects previously funded by travel tax, the national government shall provide the necessary funding for the following agencies through the General Appropriation Act. Number 1, TIESA. Number 2, CHED. Number 3, NCCA. So, dun ho natin ito pag-usapan sa Committee on Appropriation kung saan at papaano at paano popondohan yung mga programang hindi na kailangan mapondohan. So doon na ho natin pag-usapan, stranded funds, utilization, because isang tingin ko pa lang ho is maraming pondong hindi pa nagagamit. But that's not up for us to make the decision. We will let the Committee on Appropriation make that decision. Ang pinag-uusapan lang natin is what is the fiscal effect on the economy if we remove travel tax. Go ahead, Kong Erice.
Yes, another question to the Department of Tourism. Kinonsulta po ako ng mga local tourist stakeholders. Ang sabi po nila kung napakamahal ng plane tickets going to local destinations. For example, I've gone to Cebu last week. Ang ticket ko po inabot ng mga 15,000. Yung wife ko po pupunta ng Japan, bumili ng ticket 10,000. 10,000. So, pero yung wife ko po, kahit pumunta sa Japan, hindi niya na iniintindi yung yung economy na 1,600 na travel tax. Hindi naman masakit na yun eh. Mas masakit yung pupunta ka ng Cebu, 15,000 ang babayaran mo. Punta ka ng Japan, 10,000 lang. So, ang sentiment po ng mga local tourist stakeholders sa pag-aalis ng travel tax, mas ma-encourage pa daw po na pumunta na lang sa abroad yung ating mga local tourists kaysa sa ating mga local tourist destination kasi mas mahal pa para sa mga Pilipino ang magpunta sa mga local tourist areas natin. Ano po ang comment niya dyan sa opinion ng mga local tourist stakeholders natin?
You know, ang problema dyan is mas mahal ang local travel. At ang may kasalanan dyan are not the local stakeholders, but it is an infrastructure issue. Walang iba. Bakit mahal ang Siargao, mahal ang Boracay, mahal ang pamasahe? Maiksi ang mga runway nila. So, imbis na meron kang eroplano that can carry 444 economy passengers, isang eroplano papuntang Bangkok, yung eroplano ng Cebu Pacific, can carry all of that. Yan, nagagawa nila sa Cebu kasi kaya ng runway. Pero hindi kaya ng Siargao dahil ang liit. So, ang eroplano lang na pwede ay propeller. So, ang pamasahe nagiging 40% more expensive. So, tanong ng mamamayan dyan ay, so pipilitin natin parusahan ng mamamayan dahil mahal ang local travel, hindi namin kayo papayagan mag-travel internationally kahit mas mura ito. Parang hindi naman yata tama yon. Meaning, why are we going to penalize people's right to travel because of the inefficiency of government? Yan ang kalalabasan dyan eh. Pagtatakpan natin ang pagkukulang ng gobyerno na dekada-dekada ng problema by simply forcing them to just travel domestically. Kahit mahal, kasi ang mangyayari ho dyan, kahit paanong gawin natin, yung magbiyahe internationally dahil mas mura, pareho din ang gagastusin nila, hindi rin sila magta-travel domestically because hindi nila kaya yung 18,000, 20,000 papuntang Siargao. So, these are two separate issues altogether. And in my mind, when we look at the overall scenario is there is no basis for the domestic market to feel threatened that this option is now going to be made available because the option to travel domestically hindi rin mangyayari dahil napakamahal ng pamasahe. So, ina-address yan ng gobyerno but in time, hindi naman po pwedeng pinaparusahan natin yung karapatan ng mamamayan na makapagbiyahe. Pangalawa, Congressman Erice, it's a very simple look at how travel affects. The multiplier effect of airline expenditure is 2.54. Ibig sabihin, for every peso spent there, it generates 2 pesos and 54 centavos to the economy or to the GDP. Wala pa dyan yung iba't ibang expenditure for every 3 additional passengers that will happen or increase as a result in the reduction of the plane fare. Saan nanggagaling yung calculation na yon? Nasa calculation din yan ng ating pamahalaan. Ibig sabihin na ang tinitingnan ng ating mga ekonomista is ang elasticity factor ng travel is 1.5. Ibig sabihin na unlike sa sigarilyo na very inelastic, yung kung talaga kahit gaano kamahal, bibili at bibili, ito, very price sensitive ang merkadong ito. So, that's the calculated increase in revenue na nanggagaling sa Committee on Ways and Means.
Mr. Chair.
Sige, Kong Egay. You have one more minute,
yes.
Kong Egay, please.
Yes. May I just continue with the Department of Finance? There's a study that if we will abolish the travel tax, madadagdagan po yung foreign travel by Filipinos. And by how much? Meron po bang ganyang study? Meron na po bang study na ganyan?
So for those that will have the ability to travel or want to travel within that given economic class, ang magiging increase ng availment ng international travel, at least in the ASEAN, is over the next 5 years is 30%. Yan ang itataas niyan pagdating sa availment.